heard, your psychic abilities have been enhanced. Everything from this moment forward will be different. They told me that there would be a stock market crash. There would be a change of all of our currency. A new frequency of money would be all-encompassing. They've showed me visions of thousands of ships in the sky just presenting themselves, saying, we're here. I made a contract in another space and time with my guides, who I am an aspect of, which I've been told, to come here now to help humanity navigate through all these changes. And if that is to help them learn about frequency and vibration and to be prepared, then so be it.
Hey, Guy here. Welcome to my Let It In podcast. And my beautiful guest today is Pamela Downs, who is a trance channeler. And sometimes on the podcast, people end up spontaneously channeling or not. I'm not too attached to any of those things. What I'm more interested in is the wisdom behind where the words that they might have channeled or through their own journeys as well. And Pamela's journey is very, very similar. And I felt like I could relate to her in many ways. And we get into even the conversations around, the future, what's come in, prophecies, different things that have come in within this topic of conversation and along with her journey. And I'm always intrigued of hearing different insights in different people. And I'm certainly not here to create YouTube channels or conversations to scare or in any way. They're here to empower. And that's why I bring these conversations forward out of curiosity and to explore the different insights. And ultimately, at the end of the day, I really feel this work that I teach, that Pamela teaches, and many people from different aspects of how they teach this work is to really become self-empowered and to really start to shape our inside world, which ultimately reflects on our outside world. Anyway, let me know about this conversation, what you think about it with Pamela today. I really enjoyed it. She's lovely. And of course, let me know where you are in the world as well. The comments below are always welcome. It's great always connecting with everyone through here. And I try and keep up and read and answer all the comments when I can. But there's a lot, which is great because the channel continues to reach more people. So subscribing, sharing with a loved one or friend, or hitting the like button, leaving a comment, whatever it might be, they all contribute to help getting these conversations out there, which, as you know, if you're a regular listener, I feel very deeply and passionate about. We got lots coming up, events as well. New Zealand, Australia, Croatia, we'll be hitting in November as well. There's links below. There's also free resources below that can help support you on this journey to continue to let it in as well. Anyway, much love from me. Enjoy this conversation with Pamela, and I'll see you soon. Pamela, welcome to the podcast, my lovely.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here and have a conversation.
Absolutely.
Talk about all the things.
I know, right? It's funny. Like we just met off air and it's like, gosh, we got so much in common.
I know, we really
it's
do.
the way it works, isn't it? But let's start because I mentioned the intimate dinner party and dinner table and wanting listeners to feel like we're all listening in on a nice conversation together. So if you were sitting next to a stranger and they asked you what you do for a living right now, how would you respond?
That's so funny. Yeah, I would say I probably would look at them and start laughing like I just did and say, what do I not do right now? It's funny because I find myself, you and I were just speaking, I've been an entrepreneur since 2000 and ran and grew and lead a marketing, branding, and communications firm. And that's what I had, done since the year 2000, I've been an entrepreneur. But I find myself talking more about the business that I launched just recently because I feel so passionate about the work. I'm just moving into a new place in my life where that's all I want to do. It's all I want to be. It's all I want to think about. It's all I want to share about, have conversations about. And I would tell someone at a dinner party, I would just start talking about spirituality and the universe. And, out of that comes my story. And, the story of me, losing everything and re-identifying with like new ways of thinking, being, experiencing life. And at the dinner parties, at the business meetings, at the conference room tables, wherever I go now, that's what people want to talk about. They want to talk about spirituality and spiritual awakening. And it's fascinating because I could go to a networking event for my marketing and communications firm and really intently go there to make new connections, to share about my marketing, and spirituality comes up.
Wow.
It just always does. People are seeing the world in a new way. People are having moments of clarity and realizations, and they're using their higher guidance. So they don't know what it is. They don't know what it is yet. They sort of know what it is, and they're tapping into, um, using discernment. All the words. Um, what is it? What do things feel like? They make decisions now with their feelings, with their senses, instead of with their brains and their intellects, and just being on autopilot. And it's beautiful to see. And when they hear my story of having lost everything in the recession, and the quick version of leaving religion, and finding the law of attraction, and starting my healing journey and my spiritual awakening journey, where they hear all these stories of synchronicity and alignment and abundance and how my life changed, people look and wonder at it, like that happened to you. And yeah, and it's starting to happen to them now when they make big choices
Mm.
because they're using the discernment and their inner guidance and their feeling and their senses. And I could talk all day long about that guy.
How do you look back on that and reflect? Then I do find, like, especially having, this is my second company that I'm running now, and having to sell
Hmm.
out and go through these transitions and really step into spirituality and actually just owning it, owning myself and owning my voice,
Hmm.
and not being frightened to talk about these things at all, and like
Yeah.
let go of all that stuff. Like, how do you reflect on back then through that journey? Because you mentioned about losing everything, which I wasn't aware of.
Hmm.
That's a big
Hmm.
deal. Like, what do
It
you think?
is.
What was the lesson there for you at that point in time? Because it must have
Yeah.
been really hard to be going through, obviously.
It was really hard. And I call it my knockdown. That's the label that I gave it, and everyone has a label of something that they experienced that shook them up and made them see the world with new eyes, with new lenses. And with me, it's like I was having big questions, and I wasn't getting the answers that I wanted. They were not sitting inside of religion. They weren't sitting inside of the life that I had. They just weren't resonating. And when the recession came and my husband lost his job and I had my own business, and things got hard. They got challenging. They got uncomfortable. The footing beneath us was crumbling. Everything that we had worked so hard to build and that we were struggling to keep and maintain and image, and it's all we knew, though. It's
Of
what we
course.
knew. It was the decade of our life that's what we were building. We had moved to the second home, and had the second version of our car, and had the second kid, and had the mortgages and the liens again, all the things that we're told to do, because this is expansion, this is growing, this is learning and experiencing life. When that shift came and everything was torn away from us, it was like a aha moment. It was like, I say sometimes that I feel, and I didn't use words like spirit and universe back then. I wasn't even deeply in my religion because I wasn't resonating with it. Um, but I say often on podcasts, like I felt like God, I call God great I am, source, everything, gave me a kick in the ass. And it was like that knockdown moment of perception, reality shifting, everything changing, and me seeing everything with new eyes. And I stumbled across Esther Hicks, who was channeling a collective of divine beings called Abraham. And she, until this day, now I think in her 80s, this story I'm saying happened like between 2008 and 2012. She was speaking about the law of attraction and abundance. And she said something, or I had a moment, I don't remember what it was, but it made me look at myself and say, "Oh my God, I am speaking lack constantly. I am speaking about my life and what I don't have, all the things that have gone wrong. I am beating the drum over and over and over and over daily. I am feeling it. I am resonating in it. I am being it. I am creating it. And that's what I learned. I'm creating my here and now, my here and now, my here and now, my here and now. And I had this moment of like, wait a minute, I've got to flip that upside down. I need to start talking about the good things that are happening, the positive things that are in my life, seeing things in a new way. And the moment that I did that, everything started to change. Everything started to change. My reality started to change. My life started to change. Um, I started getting this understanding of when I would use that muscle of pulling on my higher guidance, pulling on my clairs, my senses, my knowing, my feeling, all those things. When I would use those tools, I would see change. I would see a shift. So experiences started to change in my life. My situation started to change in my life. The people started to change in my life. My conversations started to change. My friendships, my relationships, everything. And I started bringing in what I needed at that moment because my consciousness was shifting and I was waking up. I was waking up to understand that I am a manifester and a creator of my reality, that I am connected to God, to universe, to all that is. I'm not small. That perception was getting larger. And so I was getting more vast and larger. And so my energy was becoming all those things. And that's when like the right people would come into my life at the right time, or the right opportunity would come
Mm.
at the right time. And my father, who had struggled with alcohol my entire childhood and adult life, he lost his battle with alcohol. And I was reflecting and understanding his journey in a different way than I ever had before, because I was a certain age and I was having a certain experiences in life, and I had certain experiences with alcohol, and I was like reflecting and understanding him. And when he died, I had many things happen. I had compassion and empathy for him, but I also saw the energy. I didn't know it was a soul body. I didn't know it was like a larger picture, but I saw the essence of him leave his body, and I just saw this meat suit just sitting there, and I was having this experience, and I was saying it inside of my mind, like my little family that was there, three of us, they were praying, we were praying, we were trying to do what you thought you had to do in the moment, and you were, having sorrow and all the things. But I really was saying, where did my father go? And at that moment, there was an opportunity that came to me, like right after that, a paid ticket to see a medium. This guy, Rich, came on my lap. I didn't have to pay for it. I didn't have to figure out how to get to it. I was at that time like watching the kids 24/7 so my husband could work whenever it was available to him for the money. And this paid ticket came my way, and he was able somehow to watch the kids for me to go. Like it was like, universally conspiring to get me there. And I went, and this man came over to me and he said, "Your father's here. He wants you to know how creative and talented you are." And I was a musician and an artist. That's the two things I'm really good at. And like that moment, that moment, guy was like, like what was that? It was like a drive by. Like what the heck happened? And he said he died of alcohol or something with his liver, and I was like, yeah. And he wants you to know that he understands how horrible he was and how he didn't show up the way he should have, and he wanted to, and that he loves you and he wants you to forgive him. And like it was like poof, 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 so relevant to the relationship that I had. And that was it. It opened me up, and I knew that there was life beyond this physical form. I just there was no denying it,
Mm.
right? That coupled with the moment of him passing and that energy leaving his body, that is what started me on this path to devour everything. I wanted to know everything. I started reading everything. I was at the metaphysical section of the library, sitting on the floor, reading and paging through and looking. I wanted to go to all these experiences. I wanted to have conversations with people. I wanted more and more and more and more. And that journey of discovery of what resonated with me, of my, it was like an education, it was experiential learning, led into my healing journey. So it was me understanding like spirituality, but then also experiencing modalities, which were also healing me, which were also heightening my frequency, which was
Mm.
allowing this higher wisdom to come in and my abilities that we all have to be realized, to be seen, to be acknowledged, to be witnessed, to be discovered, explored, all the things. And that's when I started having like, I would have knowings about like things to do, ways to be, people who would reach out, opportunities. Like I have knowings that I was supposed to go in a certain direction. And I would like listen to them. I'm supposed to go down this path, not that path. And I would listen to them and watch things
Watch
change,
it unfold.
watch things elevate, watch things get better, watch opportunities come. And I went to a Reiki, it was a Reiki share. It was at a yoga studio. And I always laugh because I don't know if I'd ever recommend doing this for anyone else to do it, but there were like 6 Reiki practitioners working on people for like 30 minutes. I was the last person in the group to go up, and these practitioners started working on me and doing Reiki on me. And I had my first chakra opening. My heart went, whoa. And I had all this emotion, all of this pain, all of this, and then beauty and love come through my heart and releasing emotions. And it was incredible. And it was one of those moments where you're like, what was that?
Mm.
I need to discover more. I want to know more. I want to see more. It fed it. It fed that path that I wanted to travel down. And then, synchronicities would happen. And I was getting very good at the law of attraction and manifesting things that I needed, like selling my house and like incredible things. And one of the things that I experienced was I was invited by someone I was working with to go to Reiki training on a quartz crystal mountain in Costa Rica. And I was like, that sounds cool. I've never done anything like that. But I wasn't wanting to be a practitioner, but I was being pulled to go. There was like a knowing to go. And I had the same sort of thing happen. I had it on my throat chakra. I had a past life death happen. And like this block came through, and I was in this position. I was foaming at the mouth, and it was scary. And people say, "Oh my God, that sounds terrible." But I had the little nuggets before showing me there was more to have courage, have faith, keep doing it. And that opened up my vibration more. That set me more in motion on the path. That allowed the more knowings, the more all the things. I'd have dreams about my dad. I'd hear him. I'd have visions. I started having things. And one of them was a strong knowing that I was supposed to go do plant medicine in Costa Rica. The moment I saw a video about this guy, the moment I saw his experience with it, the place that he created for it, like it was like I knew that I was supposed to go there.
Okay.
Hands down, knew it. Didn't have to think about it. And I would talk in the tense of I am going there. That's where I'm going because I knew it. And I didn't know how I was going to go, didn't know how I was going to pay for it, didn't know how I was going to go by myself in the jungle and do ayahuasca. But it was at a place where I knew spirit set me up to go because it was very, very well managed and done, and it was very safe, and there were doctors on the premise, and you had to do this onboarding thing. And it was like spirit knew everything I needed because of the way I am with my mind and my sensitivity and my empathic nature and my worrisome mind and all the things that I have that are me. Knew that I needed to go to that place. So when you people ask me all the time, they ask me about ayahuasca, and it's a pull, it's a knowing, it's a deep calling. And I had that. I had it. Well, I would say, how would I get there? I don't know how I'm going to get there. Well, Spirit introduced me to someone who was going there and was a part of a group where one of the owners of this place was in the group, and they were shutting down the place, and only 40 high conscious people who had already been working on themselves were going to be at this place. And I was invited to go there. And so it was like spirit scooped me up and brought me and put me in this place where I felt safe and comfortable, but I was also going to be around and in an environment that was high frequency because the work that I did. Do you have a
I was going
question?
to say, what year is this? And would you mind sharing where the place
That
was?
was, yeah, that was in 2019. It was November
Okay.
of 2019. And the place was Rhythmia Life Advancement Center in Costa
Yeah, I'm
Rica.
aware of Rhythmia and Gerald, and yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yep. It was the video of him that I saw.
Okay.
And it was like, "Tum." That's what I knew. Um, and I had a lot of fear to release. You know, you talked about when you take that jump into the deep end with what your soul's calling you to do and how it can be fearful, but that courage needs to be expressed and that sentiment needs to be felt by the universe. That conviction needs to be pulsing out,
Mm.
and all those things. And um, I had to go there because I had a lot of fear that needed to be released from my energy body, from my soul body, because there was more work I needed to do. Like I had to go there to release that level of past life trauma. I did ayahuasca multiple times for multiple days. And in that, I did tons of healing for past lives, this life, future life, clearing lineage, like all kinds of stuff. It was like incredible. And at the end of the week, we did a breathwork class, and this white light shot through my third eye, filled my whole body up with vibration. I lost my breath, and I heard, "Your psychic abilities have been enhanced. Everything from this moment forward will be different." And that's what happened. And that's what happened. And the ayahuasca did that. It helped break me open. I hope my camera's okay. It helped break me open in order to be able to do whatever the work was that was next. And that was receive the premonitions, the visions, the channeling, writing channeling, and then the channeling that I do through my voice. So after that week long ayahuasca journey, when I came back to the States, I was in my home and COVID came.
Of course.
And there was like this amount of time where, suddenly your business life wasn't 9 to 5. Like everything was all over the place, remember? And it was like we were creating new ways of being and working and everything. And I had this bank of time in the morning where I was sitting with intention. And I just had this knowing that I was supposed to just continue the work that I was doing. And I just knew it. And so I sat with intention with my heart open in this place. And this group of angelic, feminine, divine beings came in and they would talk to me. I could hear them through my clairvoyance or clairsentience, I guess is the word. I could hear them and I could feel them. And then I knew when I felt them that I was going to be doing past life work. And so I was. I did it over and over and over and over again. I relived the life, I relived the death, I released all the emotion, and my frequency was heightened. I did that over and over and over again for several months. And that's when my frequency got to a place where I was high enough and the guides were low enough that there could be a transference of energy.
Mm.
And that's when the channeling started. And I mean, I was just listening to a recording yesterday of when the very, very first times when they were trying to go this, 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 this. They're just trying to get a word out to get the energy to, you know, to move fluidly. And it was many, many, many months. It was like the better part of a year. It was probably over a year that I did that,
Wow.
and I worked with them. Yeah, yeah, and that's how the channeling started, and it was for me a fast track, but it was a lot of
I,
work.
I, I don't doubt it. There's so many parables. Honestly, it's uncanny. I'm listening to you here because I'm just curious though. When was the timeline from when you had the reading to starting a channel? Would there be like 8 years or something? Or
I think that it was, yeah, probably. So it was 2012,
okay, yeah,
2013. Well, my marriage ended December of 2014, so it might have been like 2014 ish to ayahuasca in 2019. So five,
Yeah, it's a
six
journey,
years.
isn't it? Yeah. Because
Hmm.
I did an ayahuasca journey, I was called back in 2013, and that really pinged
Mm,
me in a different direction. And that was when my
I'm sure it
my
did.
company was really starting to get to its height of its own success. And I remember thinking, holy shit,
Yeah.
this is yeah, a whole new ball game. But
Hmm.
interestingly, I find it fascinating because I hold space at retreats and working with
Hmm.
people. As that energy elevates, it's amazing how they start to converge and use your
Yeah.
own energy field. Like it blows me away when these things happen and you work with it. So I get it. Like I truly do with what you're sharing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but I find it fascinating how almost overnight, like after your ayahuasca journeys at Rhythmia, these gifts just came on. But obviously, there's a big foundation before that that had to be
Yeah.
done to allow
Yes.
that
Yeah.
moment to happen. I mean, were you scared of those
Absolutely.
gifts then when you start to when they come online? You know, how did you
Yeah.
embrace that at the time? Are you like pushing it away? Are you taking it on? Or
Yeah. It's a good question. It was a lot. um, it was a lot. There were a lot of interactions with beings. So when I went down to the Reiki retreat, which was 2014, 2015, I have to get the times together now. You're going to make me do that. I'm going to go and look in my calendar and my photographs. That's iPhoto is great for that. But I remember when that happened and that throat chakra opened up. I mean, that night I had visions of the past life where I was tortured. I saw myself being beaten in a field of wheat. I saw all the women with the big
wow,
skirts and the white caps tied around their heads like it was up in Massachusetts or something. I saw it. Um, I went home from that and I found out later there was a portal in my bedroom that was open. Someone had to close it. But I was having entities. I was so open that I was having beings permeate me at night. I was having beings come by my bed. I was having so many interactions with so many different kinds of energies that I was scared, yes. And I didn't have a community like I built for people who are all waking up to their gifts now and have someone to share it with. I had a practitioner here and there that I worked with, and they couldn't be in my back pocket on speed dial. Like they weren't always, available to me. It was hard, but because, guy, there was like so many amazing synchronicities and so many experiences that were woven in there. I just knew that it was something I needed to do. I just knew that I was held. I knew that I needed to do it. I knew I needed to keep discovering. And there was a time when I had black tourmaline in the corners of my bedroom and celandine. I think that's the name of it. I don't use crystals a ton like others do, but I was told to put it under my bed. I was told to do all these things to help with frequency, to help with protection, and I did whatever I was told to do. But I had to, and I know this now because I can look back on it, I had to experience all of them so that I would understand all of the different beings, all the different frequencies, all the different dimensions, all the different entities. I had to. And I have experienced deep, 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 dark, dark, demonic, if you want to give it a
hmm,
label, energies. I've experienced the highest, most loving frequencies and everything in between. So I had to have that. I say often, if you are learning a sheet of music, if you're painting a painting, you have to go through it. You got to have the struggle to understand it because that's where the learning is. And that's how I can help others because my journey is to help others. It's what I'm doing now because they're all waking up so quickly and they're all having the same experiences that I had. So I can help them navigate it. I'm building a course around it because it's happening so quickly now for people.
mm,
It's not all these years like it was for me and you. Maybe yours wasn't as long as mine, but it's happening very, very, very rapidly in months. I had a member join the community in March. It's July. She's already starting to channel and all this. It's incredible, dealing with super high frequency. Um, yeah. So long answer to your question is, yeah. I was scared, but I pushed through because I knew I had the greater knowing to continue to move forward.
So who are you channeling? Like who's been wanting to come through, and what
Yeah.
messages have they been sharing?
So when I first started the channeling, Thoth and Ra came
Okay.
through first. Ra was one of the first ones, and he was Ra, like he's super powerful, and that shook me. Makes your hair stand on edge, and Thoth came in, and there were all kinds of galactic beings that came in, and they spoke their language, and I could feel them. I could see them in my mind's eye. I drew them. I have so many pictures of
Wow.
them of what they look like. Yeah. And then Jesus has come through me. I've um, spoken and felt this divine collective of feminine beings. They're like almost Magdalene energy. Um, and then the council started coming in. I didn't know that's who they were, but they were so high frequency that I had to work really hard to get that calibration to happen. And the first time they came in, it was this spiraling of this high, high, high frequency, and it was like I could hear myself whispering. I could hear like the light language, and then it went zoom, and it came in really, really high, and we had to work together for a long time to get that, to get the words, to get the phrases, to get that acclamation, physical thing that happens. Um, so the Great Council are who I channel now, but I have other guides that come in, like I have a Palladian guide, Avriel, who comes in, and so different beings come in. But there's a there's a there's a mission that I am on right now, which is I have stepped into and fully embraced. When I was told and intuited in 2020 to create this community, I heard in the middle of the night, spirit calling, whispers. I got up and I wrote it down. And in the morning, I bought the domain. And then I just forgot about it. And over the course of a year, with working with all of them and doing all the things, I kept hearing. They started giving me the premonitions, and they started giving me the messages of the future, of things that were coming in the future. I started hearing that there's going to be a glass ceiling that breaks. People are going to stop in their tracks. They're not going to know who and what they believe in, what the world that has been created that they believe in is. They're not going to understand. They're going to need a safe place to land. I need to create a portal, is what they said. And I didn't know what the hell that was for a year. I've built websites, I've built all kinds of things, and I'm like, a portal? Well, after that year, I saw the little angel wings in a vision coming down on an iPhone, and I knew it was all the same. It was spirit calling. Well, I launched that community in January of 2024, and I was inside of that community sharing my messages in my cozy little comfy place where people wanted to hear those sorts of things. And in in October of 2024, I got the kick in the butt. They told me, it's time now to start sharing what we've been sharing with you since 2020. It's time. And it was like, riding a bike. Like, it was hard for me to put myself out there in that way.
Mm.
It was very hard for me to present myself as a person that shares this stuff, and even as a person that has this kind of connection and does this work, because I have a professional persona also. I'm a business owner, and I have clients, and I have, employees that I'm responsible for. And it was like there was just this, there's so much struggle with me. And then I had to work through it. My job is to work through it, work through it. It's the fear that I started in Costa Rica with the ayahuasca, releasing the fear, all the past lives of trying to spread all of this energy and shifting people's vibrations and sharing about the universe and being condemned and all the things. It's working through that past life trauma into here and now, here and now. And in, I think it was October or September of 2024, I was working out, and I kept hearing, you need to start sharing. You need to start sharing. I was finished. I went upstairs to this space that we have where I do my art and music, and I just sat down. And I said, I mean, do you want me to start doing this? It was so strong. And I said, fine. I mean, if you want me to start doing it, I can't do it anymore. Fine. And this bird came and went right in the window in front of my face. And it was like, okay, I hear you. You know, I hear you. Fine. Fine. They do that with me. They give me these like, "Bah!" um, and so I started sharing. So I started sharing some of the first visions that I saw and some of the first things that they showed me and they told me. And when I was in channel, they would talk to me. I have it all recorded. I have it written down. I have it drawn. All the ways was that there would be a tsunami. I would wake up having dreams of tsunamis. I would hear when they would channel wave, 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 like over and over and over again. And I didn't know what that was. I would try to talk about it with the few friends that I had. Well, maybe it's the wave of change. Maybe it's this, but I knew it wasn't. I know that it's a wave. I know that it's a wave. And they told me that there would be, a stock market crash. There would be a change of all of our currency. A new frequency of money would be all encompassing. It would be one universal currency, one world currency. They told me like all the things. Now I don't know the time frames around all these, but they were sharing and sharing and sharing. They told me there would be many, many, many natural disasters. Now this was in 2020. We've seen how much that's escalated. Hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, tsunamis. And one of the things they told me, that we would be an intergalactic society once again. And they've showed me visions of thousands. I don't even know if thousands is the right word, of ships in the sky just presenting themselves, saying, "We're here. We are all one. We're not attacking you. We are just making our presence known." But I've also seen a fake alien invasion. I've seen myself witnessing it, and I was not having fear, and I was witnessing and having realizations that it was a man-made event. Like there's so many things
Mm.
they showed me and told me that the ways of our world that have been created, that we currently live in, that are breaking down right now, are going to be, they're going, all the people in Hollywood and the music industry, they said last year would fall far from their places. That started last year. And so, yeah, I mean, that was starting at the turn of last year. And then it's gotten stronger this year. I've been
Are
sharing
you
more.
still getting those premonitions coming in, or was that at this certain point in time? Yeah.
Yeah. So every year, every month, I channel a message for my community, and I ask the guides for a message to help support them on their spiritual journey. What do they need to know? How can they be fed? How can they learn? How can they be supported? And since January, it's escalated slowly, and it's been like a wind up sort of. They said March that everything would start to unravel, and then they talked about everyone sharing what they know now, that we can no longer stay inside in our comfy community, me included.
Mm.
It's time to share what you know about vibration and frequency to help everyone to navigate change and fear with more ease and grace. And you do that by elevating your frequency, because most people, not most, but a lot of our world, they're not awake. They don't understand that they even have a frequency, that they have a vibration that's individual to them, that's their soul body. And they attract what they are. And if they are able, and the council teaches our community, and I try on my platforms to share the lessons that they have, to watch what you're consuming. That's not just eating. It's what are you participating in? What are your conversations? Who are you spending time with? Are you sitting on social platforms, doom scrolling, getting involved and engaged in nonsense? That's all occupying your mind and affecting your frequency. It's also keeping you from having the opportunity to connect in a higher way to not only your guidance, but all the guides that are around you and your team and universe. And that's really what their goal is, to help teach us. But they said that the shifting would start in March, and it did. And now, through March and April, May, and June, it was to be the lighthouse. Because when things are changing, people are now going to remember that and they're going to come to you to talk, to ask, to look for guidance. And you're not supposed to say, I told you so. You're supposed to say, yes, tell me more. Tell me what you know.
Of course.
Hold space for them, you know? So here's the thing. Every year I channel, well, the last 2 years, I've channeled a predictions and energy update for the year. And in January, I posted on my YouTube channel the 2025 energy update and predictions video, and it talked about a series of events happening in the United States. And so I have been, for the last 2 months, 9 weeks, 2 months, sharing these dreams that I've been having. One of which was that the United States was going to attack another country. And that happened. And then I shared that because it related back to the 2025 predictions video and energy update. I only share when I'm really led to share. I don't do it for clicks, for likes, for bait, for all that stuff. I don't do it. I do it because I receive these messages and these visions and this guidance because I'm supposed to. That's the contract I made with the council. And the next the next thing I woke up with was there was explosions happening around me. I was in like an underground parking situation. There were cement pillars. There was light and greenery on the sides of this place that I was in, and there was explosions happening. And that's the word they used in the 2025 predictions video, explosions being televised and witnessed for everyone to see simultaneously and very quickly. And then I channeled a message. I went to channel the July message for our community, and 3 times I got a message of preparedness, and it was about an earthquake and a tsunami. So I share that, you know, my legs just filled up with vibration because it's not like the easiest thing to do, Guy.
No, I know.
It's just
Yeah.
not, it's not. And, I do it because I know that I'm supposed to do it. And I know that that's my purpose. And people say, why? Why? Because I made a contract in another space and time with my guides, who I am an aspect of, which I've been told to come here now to help humanity navigate through all these changes. And if that is to help them learn about frequency and vibration and to be prepared to get water, to get supplies, then so be it. Um, yeah, so that's the most recent. They're the
No, I
most recent
appreciate it.
ones.
And I was going to ask you the question, why do you feel they show you the premonitions and then for you to put them out there? Do you think it's a doorway into people being open to energy, vibration, and frequency? It's just
Yeah,
another way through that door.
I think so. Yeah. It's so multifaceted.
Mm,
There's so many layers of it. It's also because of all the things I told you that they've showed me that are coming in the future. There's a realization that has to happen. I've witnessed it. I've seen it. I know it, where there's an instantaneous moment where something gets connected, like so the dots get connected, and then I will, because they've told me, I will be giving a renewal of perspectives of the Earth's plane over and over and over again. So that means to me, there's changes coming, and they are going to help navigate through all these changes. So there's almost a connect the dots that has to happen for that to be realized, for people to understand that that is going to be a form of
mm.
communication for them in the future as well. There's that. Then there's also that they are these creator beings, and they have a vested interest in us shifting through this more easily. There's so many reasons why.
I, I,
There's so
I
many
was going to
reasons
ask
why.
you, like, how do we navigate this? Because there's definitely a sense of a fear-driven response on many
Yeah,
messages, and I see YouTubers doing it in the spiritual community that are putting certain things out there to get
so
clicks
many out.
and
Yep.
just create a fear response, and then it just becomes a
Yeah.
media commodity per se.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
it's like, is that actually cutting through and supporting and helping us
Mhm.
evolve and grow? You know,
Right. Yeah.
and it's just an observation. You know.
I agree. I've seen it myself, and I've talked about it on podcasts. It's like it's enough already. I'm tired of seeing one person I was on looking at their podcast. I wanted to be on it, and I wanted to share the messages of the council, and like every one of their thumbnails had the same damn thing over and over and over. It's begun. It's begun. The end is near. It's begun. And I'm like, it's like oversaturated. It's just too much. So that's another reason why I try to be so intentional with them, with the words, with meeting the community guidelines, with making sure that number one, I don't like some people put them out. I don't have a schedule, a calendar. I don't, it's not what I do. I do it when I am called to do it. And so whoever is meant to receive it and see it is going to. And that's what they told me because I really had a hard time with that. They said, Pamela, whoever is supposed to receive it and to hear it and receive it is going to. You can't worry about, and they don't use my simple words. They use their words. Whoever's going to receive it will receive it and the others will not. And that is their choice. That's the choice they made. And here's another thing. And I talked about this on my TikTok today because um, I really strive and I care about the way that I show up as a human being. It's important to me. And I only function from 100% authenticity. I function from my heart space. It's just who I am. It's not like I can't be anything other than that. Simple. That's done. And, it's hard for me and I'm learning because this is what I have to learn is that it doesn't matter. I have to just let people who react and judge and all the things, I have to let them have their reaction because that's their journey. But also that's the exact example of why the guides want you to work on your frequency because the level of fear, the vibration that you're at is how you are going to receive the
That's
message.
right.
The fear gets triggered within you. So they want you to work on elevating your frequency. They want you to work on it. They want you to shift your perspective, to pay attention, to be in nature, to be and have more evolved, meaningful conversations, relationships, experiences, right? So, yeah,
Yeah. No, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that.
you're
Have you
welcome.
have you met the council? Have you seen them? Like,
I see them as large, vast beings of light. That's how they represent themselves to me, like visually in my mind's eye when I go and I sit with them. But when I feel them, it's like it's powerful. They're powerful. That's why it took me so long to integrate their energy through my being. I just did a session with someone, so my neck is very sore right now because I was channeling. Um, I am able to channel other beings that aren't quite as high frequency and powerful as them more with more ease.
okay.
It's
Mm.
fascinating. It's very fascinating. When I was on Next Level Soul, which was my very first
Oh, with Alex.
appearance with
Hmm.
Alex, it was my very first appearance, my very first in person. I did tons of virtuals. Um, I have my if you know Esther and Jerry Hicks, I have my Jerry. Her name is Dina, and she asks questions and facilitates when I channel and when we do our mastermind with in my community. And she goes to all these things with me because she's like a part of me. And so she was sitting in the green room, and I was out recording the podcast. And she says at the exact moment that this happened, she felt this surge of energy come up. She said, something's going to happen. And the like monitors went out. Something happened and he had to stop and he had to fix the system because their energy is so strong. It affects the equipment. Well, when we went to Sean Kelly Digital Social Hour podcast in Las Vegas, the same thing happened. And he said on his Instagram, he said, "You guys, there were like 3 people that recorded before Pamela and like 9 people after, and nothing happened to the studio before or after. it tripped up our systems. The energy, he said something was in the studio. And that's how it is. It's like people come on these masterminds and to work with me in the council, and they start getting hot faces and they start having to unzip their jackets and like because they have a really powerful energy. Um yeah,
I
it's profound
let me
work
ask you a
that
question on that.
we're
This is
doing.
for my own selfish reasons, really. But how
Yeah.
do you? What do you do with your body to ensure to look after that frequency? Because I had another podcast this morning with David Clements. I don't know if you're familiar with David, but
Mm-mm.
fascinating guy. You guys would get on like a house on
I gotta
fire.
write it down.
Very interesting guy. But this year already, I mean, I've had two fundamental shifts in my frequency. January,
Mm.
this ancestral trauma left me when I was in my retreat
Oh,
space, and it had me gagging, absolutely gagging
yeah.
outside for about 20 minutes,
Hmm.
and about for 2 weeks afterwards, I was just like a mouse. My whole body
Yeah.
was just like holy shit. And I
Hmm.
pride myself, I'm in this space a lot, but it's like great, there's more room for movement. Let's keep cleaning house,
Yeah.
cleaning house. It's
Yeah.
relentless. And it just happened
Yeah.
again last week.
Hmm.
So I guess my question to you is how have you coped with those frequencies coming in and the integrations and the surrendering to those
Yeah.
aspects, because it's no picnic.
No, it's no picnic. I'm so glad you said that because you go through so much when you are releasing. You're also integrating. You're also recalibrating. Your vibration jumps, and you also probably jumped a timeline. So there's so many things that you're doing at the same time that the post experience, it's challenging. It's difficult. You feel raw. You feel vulnerable. You feel so wide open because you're now a new version of yourself, right? And there's all these things that you don't even know that are happening.
Mm.
Right? So you don't even know some of the things yet because you're still integrating. You're going to see a new version of yourself like in 2 weeks from now. And then as you continue to elevate your frequency, more of your gifts will show up, more synchronicities and connections will happen. So you might have really interesting paranormal experiences. You might have guides step in. You might have more vivid dreams. You know, there's a gamut of things that will happen to you. Um, I have learned, like, I don't know. I mean, I came back as a warrior. I just am, and I have to say that I'm proud of myself because I really show up for those moments. Then they happen all of the time, and they happen when I don't even expect them. When I'm not even creating a space or setting an intention or having a sacred ceremony. No, Spirit puts these experiences for me. Like, for instance, I'm a content partner on New Reality Television Network, and the founders were going to be at a metaphysical fest near my home in DC. Pamela, come. We're going to be doing interviews with the content creators. Come, we'll talk. And it's so cool. You'll check everything out. And I'd never been to one of those events before. So I was like, yeah, I mean, my whole day was clear. I can't wait. So I go, I have my conversation with them. They're like, you need to go see Patrick the angelic healer down there. He's so cool. You'll love him. I didn't even, I didn't even, I didn't even try. I didn't even care. I was so in this like excited mode. I walked up, one session available, put my name down. Hour later, no problem. I'll go network, have some lunch, whatever. He did. He said, what do you want to work on, Pamela? I said, whatever presents itself, Patrick. I don't know if I can curse. He was such a fucking powerful healer. I can't work with just everyone. I can't. There's a certain frequency that I'm at and certain needs that I have that only certain people can help me at this
Mhm.
point. I have an entrapment from a past life that's still, it's an aspect of myself that's still hanging on, that doesn't want to resolve, leave, integrate. It's part of the fear of speaking, right? So I went and sat with Patrick, and immediately this aspect of myself, this entrapment in this place of my body, he started working on it. It's not for the faint. There's a picture posted on my YouTube, my community post page on YouTube, whatever it's called. I was like knocked. It knocked me out. I mean, it was, and I lost my voice. I was sick for days. I was in pain for days because of the work that we did. But it didn't knock me. It didn't stop my stride. I have work to do, and I just get up and I get to the next because I have a community to serve, and I have things to create, and I have messages to get out. And I mean, you know, you're doing it too. It's we do. They only give us what we can handle, Guy,
Mm.
and it's all divinely timed. So if you're having a rapid ascension and these experiences are happening frequently for you, get ready, buckle up. It's going to keep happening.
Yeah, no, I don't doubt it. It's funny. I was saying this to myself 5 years ago. Buckle up, and it's just been
Right.
one constant buckled up ride.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end of the day,
You're going on that one that goes down where you hold
that's
and they shoot you up.
that's right. Exactly, exactly. But no, I feel very blessed, and I feel very blessed that I'm in this life. I'm aware of, I guess,
Yeah,
this, and there is an evolution, and it's
of course.
exciting. And when you
It
see it
is.
impact other people, and knowing that their lives have changed because you've held space for
Mhm.
somebody else, you know,
Nothing better than that.
it's
Yeah.
exactly. So it's beautiful, and I'm very grateful,
Yeah.
even when it sucks a lot
Yeah.
sometimes.
I can feel your heart.
You know,
It's true.
yeah.
It's true. I feel the same way. I hear you. I feel the same way. There's nothing better than helping someone improve their life and all the things and realize their potential, or to start to realize it, and to help them. I'll tell you about some really interesting things that I've created recently that have really helped people with. It's like a fast track almost, and they're not things that I even knew I was going to be doing. I was channeling a message for a person I was working with, and boom, this pineal gland activation meditation came out. I had never created a meditation before. Wasn't something that I was even planning on doing. That's what I'm talking about. And it was the Great Council of Light channeling it through me for them. Then when it came to produce it, I hired the sound healer that I have created a custom sound healing for our community every month. Do it in the frequency of a pineal gland. When I went in to record it, the council came in. Not only, it's like they're leading the meditation. It's the
Mm.
coolest thing. Not only are they leading it, they infuse their energy into it. And when you're experiencing it, they say things like, it's okay. You're going to feel the locking sensation. And like you feel it deep inside of your brain. I mean, and like people are using it and having profound experiences. It's amazing. It's amazing. I love to hear how they're having more vivid dreams, more connection, more synchronous, all the things. Well, they told me like through these three different times what the next group of meditations are. And the one I just completed, because they were like, you got to do it. You have to do it. You got to do it. And I'm like, I don't have time. Got to do it. I heard it all weekend, 2 weekends ago. That Monday morning, something happened and my schedule was cleared and got to do it. Got to do it. I did it. Well, don't you know, Monday night, I had a meeting with somebody who wants to do soul path coaching. I want to work on the womb. Tuesday, I had a call with this woman. I'm trying to work on conceiving. I need to work on the energy of the womb. Thursday morning, I led a group of women in Perth, Australia. This woman said, Pamela, do you work with spirit babies? And I said, what does that mean to you? And she said, I'm trying to conceive and I want to work on the energy of my
Wow.
womb. And I was like, I just started crying. So that bad boy is amazing. It just launched today. Yeah, you see, I get excited about it
Of
because
course.
I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Yeah.
No, it's amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing. I can't believe we've chewed up an hour already. It's the time
I
just
know.
like
That
blinks and
happens.
is gone. So I would bring
Yeah.
the podcast to a close in a moment. But where can people find out
Okay.
more about your work, Pamela?
Thank you for asking, Guy. Um, the community that I built that I was guided to create is called Spirit Calling, and the website spirit-calling.com. And in there, it's a beautiful, safe place for people to explore their spirituality without being judged or labeled or afraid.
Mhm.
And everyone's on a different path, everyone's in a different experience level, and everyone supports and loves each other. So that's there. And then I have a mastermind that I created. The council told me to. I have 2 different sessions going right now. It's a group of 10. It's a container that we are creating together. 10 people, me, the council, and my sidekick, Dina. She's my Jerry. And we are helping people uncover and create clarity for their life and help them navigate through their spiritual gifts, awakening, and all that stuff. And then I have Soul Path Coaching, which I work one on one with people. It's really profound work. And the people who are coming to me are like you and I, when we were trying to figure out what it is we want to do, creating space, intention, and a pathway to work with the council and me and their guides to uncover what that is. So that's on my website. And then you can follow me on YouTube and TikTok and check out the videos I just talked about at Spirit Calling Pamela on YouTube.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, and there's one more thing. I don't know when this is coming out, but I'm going to be participating in the San Diego Transcendence Retreat. Really cool people like Ann Tucker and Aaron. I can't remember everybody's names, but amazing people are going to be there, and we're going to be having lots of fun. And there's a dinner cruise, and you can hang out with us. So that's San Diego Transcendence Retreat.com, and there's a discount if you use Spirit Calling. I'm trying to think of anything else, but that's it.
No, amazing. Thank you. Thank you. It's funny you said on TikTok.
You're
I'm
so
still
welcome.
not on TikTok. Maybe
Oh my gosh.
I need to get my shit together. That's for sure.
Yeah, you're on YouTube. That's where a lot of our people are on YouTube.
No, massively, yeah, and it's growing and growing and
Yeah,
growing, and
yeah,
and I love being able to just do this, unpack a conversation, and be there. Like if I got to create short bits of content and thing, it's like it gets heady for
hmm
me, where
it does. Yeah,
now I feel like I can just hold space in my heart and talk
yes,
and see what unfolds, which is yeah,
yeah,
definitely my jam.
and let the heart connect. Just let the heart
That's right.
connect. It's
That's
awesome.
right. Well,
Hmm.
look, thank you so much for
Yeah,
coming on, Pamela. And I have no doubt
you're
you
so
get a
welcome.
beautiful response. And yeah, thoroughly enjoyed today. I really appreciate it.
Me too. I did too. It was wonderful having the conversation, and I look forward to connecting in the future.
Thank you, my lovely. Thank you.